Hey guys, it's Christine with Indigo Wings. I am here to do the weekly Twin Flame reading for June 5th through June 11th. I'm really excited to share this reading with you because it's pretty positive. Like, it's got a really nice vibe, very different from what we've recently been getting. Before I jump into the reading, so I have about a week left before I go take my vacation. I'm going to be doing readings through about June 8th. So that's this week, that's Thursday. So if you are wanting a reading this week, do it now. Like, order, I would say by Tuesday at the latest, to make sure that I can get that done for you before I head out. I'm not going to be able to guarantee anything after that. And if somebody does put an order through, I'll make sure that I'm in touch with you about that. If you have any questions about that, please just reach out, let me know, and I'll communicate with you about that. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet in terms of if I'm going to completely close the store on my site or leave it open. I'm actually thinking about offering a special where the people who order just understand that the reading will not be delivered until when I get back. So I will announce that in my next video that I make before I leave. So stay tuned for that. I'm thinking about doing something, if you purchase the 3-card reading, I'm gonna maybe offer, I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna be doing something along those lines, so just keep an eye out for that. I want to mention that this week there is a full moon on June 9th, which is Friday. Here in the US, it's on Friday. So this full moon is going to be one for transformation and healing. And I wrote a few notes about it. Just this month in general is going to be, there's a lot going on astrologically and energetically. One of the astrologers that I follow pretty closely, twinstrology.com, she just recently posted something about this time period right now being a total cluster. And then also posted something about, this being kind of like a perfect storm in a sense. So definitely check out twinstrology.com because she's made several posts about what's coming up in terms of the energies. I also got some information from astrologyking.com. So you can also read an article about the upcoming full moon there. So this full moon, transformation and healing. For some people, this may be a turning point or potentially like a mini crisis. For some in relationships, or for some people in the area of finances. But what this full moon is going to do, it's going to continue a point of transformation that many have already started right around the time of the new moon about 2 weeks ago. And so this is going to be a time for many where there will be healing from broken hearts, or the energy to heal from broken hearts will be available to you. So make sure that you're being gentle with yourself and taking that time to do the inner healing that you need to do. What the astrology king mentioned is that, that this is potentially going to be a time where it's like a turning point for some, but many may feel more like this is a crisis or a threat in their relationship versus being a turning point. So, for some of you, if that's coming up, try to keep in mind that whatever is going on, everything is as it should be. Try to keep a positive outlook. Know that everything that's happening is for your healing and for a greater transformation for you. Because there's a lot happening this month for the energies. So with that, I will jump right in. If you've been with me for a while, you know how I do my readings, but for those of you who are new to my channel, this side of the reading is the feminine energy, and this side is the masculine energy. I use masculine and feminine. I do not use the runner chaser. I don't like that. I don't like putting those labels out there because, quite frankly, I think both sets of twins do both, honestly, and it fluctuates. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. It's just that we tend to embody more of one than the other, hence the masculine and the feminine. Even though I'm using masculine and feminine in this reading, this reading absolutely pertains to same-sex couples. I do refer to he, she in this when I'm doing these readings, just because it's easier and, to kind of keep track, masculine, feminine. Feminine energies can be male, masculine energies can be female, so keep that in mind as well. If you're not sure what you are, just go with what resonates with you. And if this reading doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Then it just means that this is not the message for you. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. If this message resonates with you, then it's the message for you. And then I'm the reader for you. If it feels like I'm talking directly to you, then I'm the reader for you. And if you are interested in getting a personal reading with me, get in touch and we can set that up. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to mention. There is. With the energies, I was just talking about this with a really good friend of mine, and all I can attribute it to is just the transformational energies that are coming in. Like I've said a million times, I'm not an expert in astrology. So, I wish that I knew more and could talk more intelligently about that, because I feel like I could give you guys like better heads up on the energies that are coming in and could be affecting people and their signs and all that fun stuff. I have been in talks with somebody, hint hint, my friend Michael, if you are watching this, because I do want to kind of work with somebody to deliver more astrologically based messages to you guys. So that is something that I'm working on. But I've had a lot, I'm losing my train of thought. I've had in the last probably week or so many of my clients and new clients. I've had current clients that I've had for a while now, and then new clients reaching out to me in crisis. Or maybe, some haven't necessarily been in crisis, but are upset, that have had things happening with them. So I'm seeing a lot of feminine energies are in a place where things are kind of being turned upside down for them. And I really feel like it's just kind of all of everything that's going on. And if you're one of those people who feels like, you're ready to throw in the towel, something major has happened that you feel like is not in your favor in your connection, try not to freak out yet. Or try not to freak out at all, because you just don't know where it's leading you. All is not lost. Just try to keep a positive mindset, because you're not alone. Like I said, I have been slammed with people reaching out who are in crisis right now because things are just not working out the way that they thought that they would, or bombs are being dropped on them. So if that is you, you're not alone. And I do want to put it out there that I do have a private group, Indigo Wings Soul Connections, that if you're on Facebook, you can join that group, so that you can connect with like-minded people and talk about what's going on with you there. Just so that you know before you join that group, though, I will not approve you if you have if you don't have a real profile picture, or you don't have a profile picture, or if you're a member of 300 groups or something like that, because I am really careful about who's joining our group. I want to protect the privacy of the people who are already members in that group. So there's that. I really wanted to make sure I touched on that because I have had so many people reaching out to me recently. So I'm going to start now with the reading. So when I pulled the cards, I had 3 cards pop out right away for the feminine. And I don't mean pop out, I mean they shot out of the deck. So base chakra shot out. Sorry, I hate when the glare is on the card. I can't really do anything about that though. So I had base chakra, we had trust, and move. And, there's a couple messages that I'm getting here, because I did, when I shuffled the cards, I asked for as many messages as possible for the people watching this. And so I did get kind of multiple messages here. What I got here is that there is a lot of fear and worry holding the feminine back still. And it's located in your base chakra. Feminine energies are having concerns and fears about having their basic needs met. That's a base chakra issue. And people don't realize how important it is to be working with a clear base chakra in the twin flame connections. This is making sure that, feeling secure and knowing that all of your material needs, earthly needs are provided for. This is your financial security. This is your roof over your head. This is knowing where your next meal is coming from, things like that. And, this is knowing that you are loved, having love, having your family. And there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of feeling of unworthiness that either feminine energies feel like they don't deserve it, or they aren't going to have it, or they're going to lose it. So some deep healing needs to take place in this area. And it's always going back to the conversation. The kids are in and out of the house, so there might be slamming doors. It's going back to the same thing that we always talk about of, the importance of loving yourself and being enough for yourself. And that's part of this, being secure in who you are and accepting who you are and being okay with it and not worrying about everything else. This is a real thing for everybody. But for the feminine, there's a lot of people who are stuck and being held back because of fears stemming from these types of issues. So, do work on this area, meditations, clearings, energy clearings, work on self-love. And so the other card is trust. And this is like, this is stepping out in faith, knowing that the universe is going to provide you with everything that it is that you desire. The universe is just trusting that all of your needs are going to be met, all of your desires are going to be met, that the universe is going to provide for you, that you can take that leap of faith. It's safe for you to do that. And the next card here, the move card, this is telling me that those two things, the healing of the base chakra, the taking that leap of faith, now there's two messages here. This is going to get you to move into union with yourself, which, again, we talk about this all the time. You need to be whole within yourself before you can get into union with your twin. You need to be healed. You need to love yourself. You need to show yourself the love that you want from your twin. You need to love yourself as much as you love your twin. And I mean, truly love yourself as much as you love your twin, not just say it. So when these these fall into place, this is going to fall into place. But I'm also getting that when these things fall into place and the self-love is there for yourself and you're coming into wholeness with yourself, that's when you move into union with your twin. And the clarifying card that I pulled here is the Six of Water. And what I'm getting from this card is that a lot of what's holding the feminine back from taking that leap of faith and that trust, a lot of where the fears are stemming from are memories from their past. And for some, this can definitely be past life issue stuff. But things that happened in your past, it could be your childhood, it could be relationships from your past, it could be your upbringing, it could be anything that have made you feel vulnerable, made you felt like your needs were not being met, made you feel unloved, unworthy. You need to heal those things. You need to let go of those things, because these are the things where that's holding you back. That's where the fears are. Which, I feel like this isn't like a new revelation for most of you. For some, it might be. I feel like this is a message that it's not the first time you've heard it. If it's not the first time you've heard this message, hear me now. If you don't work on this stuff, you're gonna keep running around that hamster wheel. You're gonna stay in that same cycle. So work on that stuff. Now is the time to work on that stuff. And let me see. I'm gonna go to the next card for the feminine, because the next card here is joy and stability, and the 4 is a number of stability as well. So it's like you get this stuff squared away for yourself. You're gonna get that peace, that joy, that harmony, that contentment, that stability that you are looking for, whether or not you are in a physical union with your twin. And that is the point. So many people are, I don't want to say obsessed, because I really don't want to put like a negative connotation on things for people, but you're fixated on a physical coming together, and I do get I get it. But it's not time. If you're not together physically, it's not time. And you have, so if it's not time, you can fight it, you can fight the current, and you can keep swimming against the current, and it can be really hard for you. Or go with the flow and look at where you're at and say, okay, what can I do right now? And if it's work on the things that are suggested to you to work on, do that, because you're going to get here. And when you're here, when you're in joy and stability, that is a high vibration energy. What happens when you are vibrating at a high energy? You're more likely to attract your twin to you. Your twin is not going to be repelled by joy and stability. That energy is not going to repel your twin. This is where you want to be to attract your twin to you. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, please watch the video that I posted right before this. I have my sunglasses on in it, where I'm talking about energies and communicating with your twin. That's exactly where you want to be. You want to be in that place of joy and peace and stability. And the clarifying card is the 9 of water, which is, perfect complement to this joy and stability card. This is the wishes come true and concerns fade away, a love of life. And so the concerns fade away. So, you're shedding the fears, and you're shedding the things that are no longer serving you on this journey. You are shedding the fears and the ideas that are just dragging you down and keeping you away from what you want to move towards. And the 9 is that, an end of a cycle. If you're able to heal some of these things, and we're always healing, we're always going to be going through this to an extent, healing different things, healing them, in different ways. But if you, are able to work on what I talked about in that first card, whatever that is for you. You know, that's an end of a cycle for you. That's an end of a phase for you. And that's moving you on the next step to where you need to go. Now, the first card on the masculine side is balance. Now, this card breaks down to a 5. So, you know, changes and transformation. And, you know, the other card, the clarifying card that I pulled here is the 5 of water. So another 5. So there's definitely that the changes and the transformations that are going on with that masculine energy. And, you know, the 5 of water is that, you know, the things are just not working out the way that they thought that they would. You know, and they're struggling to see the positive in the situation. You know, and so they're really craving a more balanced state for themselves. They don't like this roller coaster. They don't like this up and down. You know, they really feel like they've been through the ringer, and so they're seeking a more even keeled energy for themselves. The next card that comes up for the masculine is open up. And so this is another 4 for that stability. You know, and so remember what I said a few minutes ago about, you know, the feminine's card. That was a 4 for stability. And that card was joy and stability. And I really feel like that energy of the feminine just being in this very stable, joyful, peaceful place is going to bring the masculine to her, and they're going to open up. Now, for some of you, that is going to be your twin actually opening up to you in the 3D. You know, either opening up the lines of communication if you haven't been communicating. This could be opening up to you in terms of confiding and sharing things with you that they haven't shared before. For those of you who are not in any communication with your twin, you can still get to this place. Work on connecting with your twin spiritually, because that connection exists as well. You know, ask your guides to help you connect with your twin when you're dreaming. You know, ask to speak to your twin's higher self and engage in some 5D communication, because there will be some opening up there as well. You know, and I also feel like, you know, you've got the light up here, you know, for any twins that are still going through that spiritual awakening, which there are many, you know, there's going to be more opening up in that aspect as well. You know, and what's really interesting is this clarifying card that I pulled, 4 of water. So there's another 4. So there's that stability that is happening. And with the 4 of water, I feel like what's going to be happening with the masculine twins, particularly the ones that are making a contact either in the physical 3D, or ones that make contact in the 5D, they're discontented. And we've talked about this. They're not living right now, even if they are acting like it. I mean, social media is very powerful, and you cannot believe everything that you see. And they are starting to open their eyes to the possibilities of what could be. So even if you are in the camp of, twins that does not hear from their masculine, they're beginning to open up their eyes to how things could be for them, what their life could look like for them, which I think is really big. So I'm just thinking where I want to go next. I'm going to go to the masculine's next card. I actually pulled several clarifiers on this, so for those of you who don't like clarifiers, sorry. So the card that I pulled here is Love Abounds. So we've got the one for the new beginnings and Love Abounds. So it's like, I feel like this card is just appropriate for every scenario that a masculine twin could be in, whether they're talking to they're in communication with their feminine counterpart or they're not. They are, and we just talked about opening up and seeing the possibilities, and then this card has a heart with a giant eye. They're seeing, they're opening up to the possibilities. And so I pulled from the Lenormand deck for this, and so we have the moon, which breaks down to a 5. We have the man, which is a 28, that breaks down to a 1. So we have 5 for transformation, 1 for new beginning, and then we have crossroads, and this is a 22 that breaks down to a 4. So all numbers that we've been seeing already in this reading. And so what those Lenormands are telling me is that you have an emotional man who is facing a decision. That's pretty crazy. And that's come up before a lot with the masculine, but for many of these masculine twins, they're not necessarily in situations where it's like a black or white. They have a lot of things that they need to weigh. And then I pulled another clarifier, but 2 came out. I pulled the 5 of Earth, so another 5 for changes and transformation. And then I pulled the 10 of Earth, so 10 breaks down to a 1 for new beginnings. And so the 5 of Earth, and I feel like this kind of is illustrating why it's not that easy for them to make the decision. The 5 of Earth, there's a lot of fear, particularly around their finances and stability. I think that there's some fears about, can they support themselves? I think some of them are financially bound to whatever situation that they're in, whether it's with a karmic partner, whether it's business, whether it's other family. They have financial concerns. They're also concerned about, can I support my twin? Or am I worthy enough for my twin? They're very ego-driven in that sense. But the 10 of Earth is all about financial security and having a happy family life and just enjoying all the beautiful things that life has to offer. So do you see how they're on this end of the spectrum and that end of the spectrum? They really are trying to figure out what to do here, and their head says one thing, their heart says another thing, and that's not easy. The card over on the feminine side, which I thought was really beautiful, is love. So the feminine, you are working on being in the love, and I'm not going to say that this is coming into union, like a physical union. I think for some, it could be a coming together or an attempt to be coming together and things working out. I do see that happening for some. But not for the majority. What I see here, I see this confirming that the feminine is balancing her own energies, that this is a union with herself, and that she's in this place of love, that they're both in this place of love, and that I feel like this is more of twins coming into a place of harmony and balance, which I think is also where you want to be, because I think that's just as good of a place to be in, especially, if you are not able to be in physical union. And there's many teachers out there who will tell you that you're already in union with your twin. And so this card to me is representing that you're in harmony together, that you're on the same wavelength, that you're vibrating at the same frequency. That is key. And so the clarifying card I pulled here is the Four of Fire. So we have another 4 for that stability, that stable energy. And this card, and I love it. We have the 10 of Earth over on the masculine side, and then we have the 4 of Earth, which is a very similar type of card, which is, a happy home life, contentment and abundance, and just peace, which, again, I feel like that's ultimately what so many are striving for. And I pulled 2 clarifiers. We got the anchor and we got the tree, which is indicating a healthy life. And so that is indicating to me how important it is for this this union with yourself, because this is going to bring you the healing that you need, the health, like the individual healing that you need. So the energy that, the crowning energy that both twins are bringing to this reading is the heart chakra. Another 4 for stability. And this card is telling me that both of the twins are coming from a place where they are trying to live from their heart versus from their head, and that is what we're supposed to be doing. We are meant to live from our heart centers, not from our heads. And this is a good thing. This is a good, beautiful thing for both twins. Whether you are in communication or separation, whatever this is, you're focused on living from your heart, and that is key. I pulled Lenormand's for this, and I pulled the mountain and the garden, and this is indicating an event that finally occurs. And I feel like this is indicating, if it, and I feel like, no one's perfect, so it's not going to be 100% all the time, but there's this attempt from both parties to be living from their heart center. So it's this an event that's finally occurring, that you're both finally trying to live from your heart. And then I pulled the 9 of Earth, which to me, this is talking about spending quiet time alone. And so to me, this is a confirmation that not as many people, this isn't so much about people coming together in a physical union. This is much more about coming into harmony, coming into a better understanding with each other, spiritual unions, understandings, unions with yourself, being in a place of just peace and stability and contentment. Don't be sad that you see this card of spending quiet time alone, because this is a good card, because this is about enjoying life's little luxuries, enjoying what life is giving you and what life has to offer. It's good. The grounding energy, which is so interesting, refusing to see. So there are still masculine and feminine twins. You're refusing to see how this can work out for you. You're still refusing to trust and to have faith. And I think it's because of the physical aspect. How do we come together in the physical? You're caught up on the physical coming together and the physical communication, which again, I understand that, and that's more of an ego thing. And again, I understand it. It's you're human. You're human. But you're refusing to see the growth. You're refusing to see the positives. You're refusing to see how things are moving forward for you, and you're refusing to see how all of this growth and focusing on yourself is going to bring you to union. You gotta stop that. 2 cards came out as clarifiers here. We have the Page of Air, and we have the 7 of Fire. And the 7 of Fire is about, defend your beliefs and decisions and stand your ground, but choose your battles wisely. And so this is telling me that, stay the course. Don't give up. And don't fight everything. Don't yeah but everything. Just because you're not seeing the results you want. Don't argue it. Have faith in the universe. And the Page of Air is, this is delays or changes to your plans, challenging information. It can even be like someone telling you, giving you information in a way that is not very nice or tactful, even though it could be the truth. They could handle it much better. And I feel like this is partially what kind of leads to the doubting. Don't let these things get to you. Just let these things go. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it push your progress away. The underlying energy for the feminine is seek the truth. And it's funny because I feel like the feminine is always kind of trying to see where this journey is taking her, and there's still this underlying, what am I supposed to be doing here? Seeking the right path. And the clarifying card here is the Queen of Air, and the Queen of Air is about clearing away the things that no longer serve you. And I feel like as the feminine continues on this quest for seeking the truth, there will be a lot of clearing away of things that no longer serve you. And I've already seen that happening with a lot of my clients. Don't doubt that. When you feel like you need to move away from something, do it. If it's not serving you, if it's not growing you, if it's not making you feel good, move away from it. That is your gut and your intuition telling you that it's not working for you. Now, the underlying energy for the masculine is rebuild. So the seek the truth is a 7, so spiritual path, and rebuild is a 7. 16 breaks down to a 7 for the masculine. So there's a lot of a lot of the same numbers are popping up, which I thought was really interesting in this reading. But so you know, the person in this card has their hand over their heart center. And, you know, I'm really getting that the underlying energy here is that they know things need to change. You know, this is like a revelation. For some, you know, something actually does change, but this is a revelation. And it's not like they haven't had it before, but they're opening up. Their eyes are opening more and more. And the clarifying card is the Knight of Water. And this is the sweep you off your feet, romantic, need to keep your emotions in check, love. This is falling in love. This is wedding proposals. And you know, this indicates that he knows deep down, which I've said before. They know what they want. Deep down, they know what they want. So I pulled an oracle card, as always, and it made me smile when I saw this. The card I pulled is Loyal Heart. And it's a very short message. The relationship, so the essential meanings of this card are fidelity, loyalty, and devotion. And the relationship message is your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. What really stands out to me in this message for this card is trusting in divine protection. You need to trust and have faith that everything is working out as it is supposed to. You know, work to stay in that stable and peaceful energy, and things are going to work out. It's going to work out. Have faith. So that's all I've got for you guys this week. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you are notified as soon as I upload a new video. Please like my Facebook page. It is Indigo Wings Healing on Facebook. You can also find me on my website. It's www.indigowingshealing.com, and you can contact me through email, which is indigowingshealing@gmail.com. And I did mention earlier my Facebook group. If you want to join my Facebook group, it is Indigo Wings Soul Connections. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. Please remember that if you want to schedule a reading with me, like June 8th is the last day I'm going to be doing readings. So if you really need a reading, today is June 4th. So I would order by like June 6th. But as always though, if you have a question, just send me an email and we can work it out. I will see you guys at the next video. I hope you have a great week. Take care.